So we got big news, and big news for the person that filed the fake XRP ETF. And yes, we do have confirmation that it was indeed fake. How do we have confirmation? Well, we have more confirmation here. Delaware refers false ETF filing to State Department of Justice. So they're doing a criminal investigation, the state of Delaware, on this fake ETF filing. Bogus paperwork for crypto ETF appeared on the official website. XRP rallied almost 13% before quickly reversing gains. Bloomberg, Delaware officials have gotten in touch with the state's Department of Justice. So the Delaware officials who oversee the filing of these documents, they got in touch with the state's Department of Justice after a hoax filing for BlackRock Incorporated on the cryptocurrency XRP showed up on the official government website on Monday. They haven't deleted the entry off the website because they still probably want it on there so they can do investigations, but the filing is actually fake. The state has said, we have referred this matter to the Department of Justice, said Ronnie Baltazar Lopez, who is the director of the Policy and Communications of Delaware's Office of Secretary of State. Now, how they were made aware of this, BlackRock might have actually complained to Delaware saying that we didn't actually file the ETF. Having said that, the Delaware government officials referred it to the Department of Justice. Now, this is going to make the person that's doing this, if they're in the United States, crap in his pants, because now they are after him. This is fraud and could lead to several years in jail. Now, there's all kinds of rumors. One of them, which is, hey, the SEC and Gary Gensler filed it because they want more excuses to actually deny the Bitcoin ETF. While that would be fancy and be incredibly big fraud if it was true, it is most likely not true. It's too much risk for them, and I think they would be able to catch it in a heartbeat if it was Gensler and co. So the thing is, yeah, it is fake. They are referring to the Department of Justice, and they are going to actually take care of it. And whoever is criminally responsible for falsifying that information will actually be brought to justice, have to pay a fine, but and also probably go to prison for a while. The thing is, like, they could have benefited off millions of dollars by doing leveraged trades. Now, the problem with this is that will it actually affect the other ETF approvals? Most likely not. I do not think this will affect the SEC decision. The other ETFs have strong reasons why they should actually be approved. So obviously, like, if you see any other ETFs that are technically filed for trusts in Delaware, make sure they have the corresponding file with the SEC, which this XRP thing did not do. Because the Ethereum and Bitcoin ones were actually confirmed by BlackRock, one by BlackRock themselves saying so, and two, by them actually filing the corresponding paperwork with the SEC and with NASDAQ to actually be listed as the ETF, which this one, again, did not. And I don't think, once again, this affects the ETF status at all. It does give a bad look for crypto, though, because it just shows how easily crypto can actually be manipulated. But you know what? I blame part of this on the SEC itself. You know why? Because if they actually approve these ETFs, instead of dragging them out further and further each time, there wouldn't be nearly as much speculation. And without nearly as much speculation, we wouldn't really have these kinds of problems. It's only because there's so much speculation that we actually have these kind of problems at all. So the thing is, like, the SEC needs to hurry up and start approving these ETFs so people won't go gaga over them. The fact that they're just holding us in suspense all the time, that's part of the reason generating all this BS. So hurry up, SEC, and hurry up and accept these ETFs. Flow, or Dapper Labs, has a partnership with Disney. This is pretty big, and I do believe they're going to be doing Disney NFTs. And I do think Disney NFTs are going to be very, very collectible. Remember, branded NFTs, I think, will actually have value. Disney is a huge, huge brand name, and they're going to launch Star Wars Pixar digital pin platform on Flow and Dapper Labs. So the thing about Dapper Labs is I always thought they should be actually worth more because there are like big companies launching platforms on the Flow blockchain, and I'm not really sure why it's only worth as much as it's worth now. I see them having a lot more utility than most other blockchains out there. So Disney and Dapper Labs have teamed up they've teamed up to offer fans a chance to purchase and trade digital pins. The platform will launch on the Apple App Store by year's end, and they are going to use Dapper Labs. And once again, that signal, that ticker is actually Flow. Disney obviously has a lot of fans globally, despite, I guess, wokeism and whatever the hell they have going with Ron DeSantis. They actually have stuff that still appeals to a lot of people. Although they should actually cut off a little bit of the wokeism for their movies. I don't actually think that's what's causing the movies to do bad. I think it's just bad script writing. And I think they're force casting people based on diversity. I'm fine with diversity, but I would just cast the best actors available instead of forcing the issue there. So, hoping to leverage some of that established enthusiasm, Disney has announced that it is partnering with NBA Top Shot creator Dapper Labs to launch a digital pin platform that will provide collectors a chance to purchase and trade branded NFTs minted on the Flow blockchain. Dubbed Disney Pinnacle, the initiative seeks to become a socially driven collectible experience that brings the magic of pin collecting to the digital age. Now, regular pins, I would say they're worthless. Disney pins, I do actually think they have value because Disney is so collectible and they're such a big icon. I mean, everyone recognizes certain Disney characters as long as they keep them in the original form. This isn't Disney's first foray into digital consumer products. They released a series of limited edition NFT Star Wars toys in partnership with Crypto Toys, but I think this is going to be a bigger release, and I do think some of these are actually going to be collectible. Dapper Labs CEO Roham said that the creation of the platform has been informed by lessons learned in recent years, and of course, the company was at one time a darling of the Web3 world after the meteoric success of NBA Top Shots. Remember, they also have that deal with the NFL. I actually really like Dapper Labs and Flow. I think they're definitely one of the more promising blockchains out there. They have the utility and they're still a fairly low market cap. And I do think there's going to be demand for the services that they offer. So Flow might not be a bad mid cap to actually purchase. So yeah, check out that as for investment if you're looking for something that's not super, super big yet, but has potential, has clients, and actually has a use case right now. Also, I do think the markets are going to continue to move up after this dip. I'm not really sure if this is the end of the dip. I think there's another resistance at 33. People are saying TA stuff all over the place. I don't really believe that. I think we held at 35. The 5s and the 10s are always big bases or big platforms for resistance and support. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now for Dapper Labs, or not Dapper Labs, for crypto altogether. And since we've actually bounced off 35, I'm actually fairly confident we're already bouncing back up, and the economic data overall was quite good. Inflation and core CPI both came down. Treasuries just went below 4.5. And the thing is, if treasuries are going below 4.5, it makes crypto and other investments more effective. And even though we're not truly correlated with the stock market anymore, we did go up a lot today in the stock market, and crypto should feel that effect. Like I said, because people are pulling their Bitcoin off the exchange, there's not that much liquidity going on right now for Bitcoin. And that's why we had a big, big dump. Since we don't have much liquidity for Bitcoin, since we don't actually have that much liquidity for Bitcoin, any kind of taking profits or sell-off are going to affect the market a little bit more than usual. And that is because people are keeping their own Bitcoin on their wallet, so they're not as prone to trade. I actually do think the volume this time is going to take a little bit longer to kick up than last time because we do have to wait for people to bring their Bitcoin back onto the exchanges. Self-custody is really getting to be a trend, and that's a very, very good thing for crypto. We want people to self-custody. We don't want people to basically be trusting the exchanges with all their money because we've seen the kind of crap that can happen when that happens, and exchanges can shut down at any time and people can lose money. Not saying the big exchanges will actually do that, but it is definitely 100% possible. So we do actually need to watch out for that stuff. So yeah, I'm not really worried about the lower liquidity. That's just, I think, a consequence of self-custody, which we actually want. But I would actually be careful. I think it does make the market a little bit more volatile than it needs to be right now. So when people are saying oh, we have low liquidity, I wouldn't really worry too much about that right now. I do think liquidity will actually deepen as we get further into the bull market. I think people will pull out their coins from their own wallet and put it back on the exchange as that happens because they actually want to trade out. But based on the decreasing treasury yields, the decreasing CPI numbers, and overall just the economic situation being a little bit better than it was a couple of months ago, I do think crypto is on an upswing going into the halving and going into the ETF approval. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.